Hello, dear viewer. I just noticed the time, and I am busy playing with Pix 4D. More of that later. Well, here we are then. It's Friday, the 19th of February 2021, and I have found myself having a bit of a. It's probably thank goodness that I've done some flying because I had a bit of a head banging sort of evening. Not much of a head banging evening, but this AAIB investigation into that Alula airspeeder. It's actually horrific, and seeing the kickback from it is really worrying. I think history might show that this incident in the UK might be the biggest hammer blow to the industry yet. I think it might end up being worse than Gatwick, made up Gatwick, because we know one thing's for certain. We know this for real, and we also know that it flew into controlled airspace, or it flew away into controlled airspace. But there was absolutely no engineering standards or best practices observed by these people. And worse still, they basically lied about what they had. And they've got away with a slap on the wrist. And I don't think it's enough. And why am I getting so angry? Let me tell you why I'm getting so angry. Because they're being held up as model aircraft flyers that went big, and they're not that at all. They're university students, so they would have been recently supervised by somebody who perhaps looked over their shoulder or certainly instructed them. And look, they've got a DHL logo on the back of that. They were trying to play with the big boys, and they singularly failed. But model aircraft and recreational flyers are being held up as look how dangerous they are by the manned aviation community. I've seen that in a couple of manned aviation magazines now online, by the manned engineering community. That everyone's being tarred by this brush. And the truth of it is, if you're in the UK, there's a thing called the Large Model Association, and the Large Model Aircraft Association. Now, you could probably slap me. I'm probably getting the terminology wrong, but they basically have a certificate of airworthiness for those big Spitfires and big this and big that. I can't remember what weight you've got to be over, but they are properly inspected, and those things are the way those large models are engineered in order to get through that process so that they can be flown at clubs and displays is quite amazing. Now, the Large Model Aircraft Association in history didn't want anything to do with drones. They quite rightly, and the same as the BMFA as well, two great organisations in the UK. And I'm convinced that this machine would not have made it through the LMA certification process. So I'm miffed. I'm miffed that model aircraft flyers and the general wider drone community are being ripped apart because of the greed and avarice of a group of students from Australia. 20 hours flying time on the thing to then fly in front of a crowd. Absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they haven't, well, I guess it's because they flew back to Australia. But moving forward, watch out for the Alauda people, whatever that actual company is. Anyway, rant over. This chap sent in a missive, Brandon Lebowitz, about his drone training school, so you might be interested in that. Altarian, a partner with the C2 group, to etc. etc. Mark Haslett receives a Wash 100 award. That's excellent in the time of COVID. We must all wash our hands more. So well done to Mark. ADSB into a ground control station. Well, we've seen that many places, haven't we? That's quite an interesting looking octocopter. Not many of them about, are there, on the market? I'm not quite sure why they're not as popular as they are, because they do offer a tiny bit of redundancy. And that Skydio post, that relates to the webinar that's coming up on the 24th of February. So that relates to that. You might want to sign up for that free webinar from Skydio and hear what they have to say about operating police and fire services. And then finally, and unusually coming out of New Zealand, something that's not Bruce's fault, it would seem, but there's been a conviction for a chap who flew into a paraglider. So that's it. That's the stories. That's my rant. Oh, I said I was going to mention Pix4D. I've actually been out flying for the last 2 days, which is really unusual. I don't fly anywhere near enough. I've got a little conservation project I want to do, and the fact I don't fly enough is testament that every time I go out and fly, I have to relearn how to use everything, and I'm both staggered at how I keep forgetting how easy. I've only got an old Phantom 3 Pro, how easy that is to operate. Touch a button with Pix4D capture, it goes away and does it. And then how powerful Pix4D is. Maybe I need to fly more and worry about the industry less. Anyway, that's it. It's Friday. Have a lovely weekend wherever you might be in the world. If you're in Texas, I hope you're warm and safe. Wherever you are in the world, though, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay away from other people. Look after yourselves. We'll see you all again on Monday. Take care for now. Bye-bye.